Hello, and welcome back to Queen's Wish the Conqueror, and would you believe it? I got distracted. I always get distracted in these games. It's an RPG, lots of stuff to do, lots of places to go. We ended up clearing out the dungeon I intended to do, and then a dungeon I didn't intend to do, on the way to failing to get to the keep. So today we will get to the keep. But first, another distraction. Alistair's offerings. I believe he was in... was it Merba? I guess I can check in my journal. We just saw him last time, right? Vitassa. Okay. Send patch in. No, these are different people. Okay, no, I don't think we were here last time, actually. I'm just getting distracted. Maybe he said Masha, right? He's probably the main guy here. Yeah. I've retaken Warma's Bowl. Yes, the citizens there send word, as promised, that Quarry is ready to begin sending stone to Fort West Bay. I hope you remember this offering when making your decision in future. Okay. See, if I say this, Haven deserves extra tribute for doing your dirty work, which is true. But we already got the extra thing by raiding the warehouse at the bowl itself. And also, saying this would, in a way, be committing to joining the Masha over the Owen, because I would basically be saying, yeah, I'm willing to work with you if you're going to pay me, kind of thing. Whereas your offering is accepted, kind of like, okay, we did a thing, we aren't necessarily committing to either side. I still haven't decided which side I'm going to commit to. I feel like I need more information. I know that the noble thing to do would be to decide with the Owen, but that's not the political thing to do, and we are playing a politician here. So we've got to roleplay it a little bit. So offering is accepted. There's not the only one. We have a second offering for you. What other offerings does the Bull have for us? There's a place of some traditional significance to the southwest. It's called the Scorpion Pit. As you might guess, there are a lot of scorpions there. Creative name. Descriptive name. I shouldn't be so condescending. That is a descriptive name. Well done. Alas, at some point in the rebellion, they all got loose. Okay, so another clear out a whole bunch of pests sort of quest. There's also a lot of treasure there in various forms. If you clear out the scorpions, you may take all of the bull's wealth there that you find. Do I need to kill all of the scorpions? I hope not. We need some of them left to deal with the condemned. Just pare the numbers back and get rid of those who escape the pit. That should be adequate. Okay, so this is like... was it the Boo Boo Box in Hook? Where you have the misbehaving pirates get put in a chest with scorpions, that sort of thing. Death by scorpion sting? What is this Scorpion Pit? Highly honored place of justice. It is where the Northern Vols condemned have been taken for executions for centuries. Okay, a little bit more serious than the Boo Boo Box, maybe. Its loss was quite a blow to us. We Vol are very serious about making sure that justice is done, and is done in line with our traditions. Why is there so much treasure there? When the condemned are captured and taken to the Scorpion Pit, it is traditional that they leave an offering there before their demise. It lets them regain some honor, and it also buys a swifter end. I'm sure some of those valuables are there, eager to be your property. Okay. Swifter end, so what? They get to commit suicide in a different way? Or they're given a more dangerous group of scorpions? I don't know. Maybe I don't want to know. Why don't you clear it out yourself and then give me the treasure? Please understand, Prince, I honor Haven greatly, not all do. If you restore one of our sacred places to us, it will help me to convince my allies to help you. Then we can be your vassal again, and we all get rich. Yep, sounds good. Okay, so talking to him didn't actually complete my quest. I was kind of expecting to get more experience for that, but I guess I got the experience. Last time I was... like when I killed the queen, the broodmother. The endless strips of brick crisscrossing full lands grow baking hot in the sun. Sweat pours down your face. You're very thirsty. You reach a crossroads, and then you see, just ahead, several Vol women in long flowing dresses. They don't have Owen marks. They do, however, have mugs of earthenware pitchers of water. They nod as you approach. Greetings to you. Greetings, traveler from Haven. As your arrival must have traveled ahead of you, quickly. Any news about this land? Only war and sadness. Rage-filled Owen to the south, tradition-following Masha to the north, sadness everywhere. Who are you? We're water bearers. We carry water from the oasis to the southeast. We offer it to thirsty travelers to help them on their way. Why are you doing this? It is a long, old tradition of the Vole. Ours is a harsh land. It is only by strict discipline, honor, and mutual support that any of us can live. Some find a calling to bear water on the roads. We do so gladly. The women all nod. Aren't you worried about being attacked? Seems like a kind of stupid question, because I don't think there would be any value in attacking these people for either side. I'm going to ask it anyway, because I'm a PC and I have to choose all of the options eventually, right? Except for these ones, which are I'm only going to be able to choose one. Another woman smiles and shakes her head. No, a world in which a bearer of water is assaulted is not a world in which we want to live. Okay, it's one way to diffuse that, I suppose. I would like some water. They pour you a glass. It is refreshing. You thank them and continue on your way. Right. Scorpion pit. Okay. Well, there's the scorpion pit. Let's just fight some scorpions here, and then... Again, I'm getting distracted. Scorpion pit. For justice. Yeah, we're going to fight some scorpions, and then we're going to go up and around. I'm still injured from the previous place I was at. Didn't see the highlight. I assumed I had the other guy active. Oh well. Is it within 6 spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Door. Takes them mostly down. Man, I got poisoned. Oh, poison disappeared immediately because I wasn't in combat anymore. Nice. You meet several soldiers. They are dirty, sweaty, and thoroughly baked in the sun. There is so much dust on their armor it is hard to tell which side they fight for in the rebellion. When they see you, they immediately turn to greet you. Let's greet them. Their leader salutes. Hello, we were on patrol. We wanted to speak with you. You are a stranger, one of them whispers to him. He says, You're from Haven. You have the look. Is this so? I am an envoy from Haven. The leader grins. It is not a kind expression. Yes, we knew it. We knew Haven had returned. All know. We do not expect to find you, though. We are from Haven, friend of the Maschas. You are from Haven, friend of the Maschas. You helped them keep control of the Owen until you were thrown off Sacramento. Alright. Okay, so it feels like I might be forced into making a side here. That was the truth once, now it may change. Go with that. No, it is not your way. Queen Sharon and your people only want wealth, and only in the easiest way. Only courage can save us. Meaning we're going to fight. You will poison our minds and destroy the Owen, but only if a few wise, brave people don't act to change history, as we will now. Alright, so kill some Owen, I guess. Sure, we can do that. I'm still blessed from the previous fight. That is unfortunate for you. Whoops, that's not the spell. I never use terror anymore. Nice. I think our blessing is mostly worn off. We'll do this one. Ooh, nice hit. Archers don't have as much help as the defenders, I guess. It's doing okay. Try another stun. Nice. Stun wore off just in time. And one more. Oh, the Vole Archer switched weapons. The Vole Archer is one of those enemies that can't use a bow in melee. Interesting. We'll heal after the fight. Like right now. Search the warriors. They were Owen rebels, causing carnage behind enemy lines. You find no papers or other sign of where they were from. You do find some money, though. You take it. Alright. A new day dawns. There's an old grizzled Vole stoneworker sitting by the slow fire. He's taking a break from his carving. His tools are nearby, and rows of stones in various degrees of carvedness stretch off to the north. He says, "Hello, traveler. I am Obro. Bro. Please join me by the fire." You do. What is your business? I work the stone. It gets carted to Vitasa. I select the finest pieces and have it brought here. Then I work it into fine carving, suitable for the best homes on Sacramentum or back in Haven. Good pitch. Thank you. I remember when I was an apprentice and my master sold his work to Havenites. They dealt fair, paid their debts, and had good taste. I remember. Are you an Owen and Masha? I don't want to ask him that. It doesn't feel necessary. Can I buy something from you? I signed fine building supplies, intricate carvings, but not something useful for your forts here, but... He pulls a stone from his pouch. It's a little larger than your fist, a strange, pearly, glittering material, unlike anything you have seen. I found this in a shipment of marble. I don't know what to do with it, but it is unique. I will give it to you for 50 coins. What does the rock do? I don't know. Glitters? I only know I've never seen one before, and I've been working stone for a long time. Sure, we'll buy it. You pay him, you get the rock. It's slightly warm to the touch. You put it in your pack. Nothing useful. Good day. Need lots of water. Heat sneaks up on you. Did I actually get anything from that? Glitterstone. Weird new sorts of stone are always being found in the Vole. Some have uses, some don't. It does have a value of 60, though, so I could presumably just sell it. What's going on here? Who are you people? You were just people. Okay. Hey, we made it to the fort. Was that really so hard? We're close to the ruins of Fort West Bay, one of Haven's 7 outposts in Sacramentum. Though it was abandoned decades ago during the calamity, it is very well preserved. The stone buildings sat undamaged in the dry weather. A good sweeping, and they'll be ready for your forces to move in. Haven is ready for it, south of the fort. You see a huge camp of your people. General Aquila has been sneaking workers and supplies into Vole lands, a lot of them. Many in the Vole want Haven to return. You're camped to the south of the empty fort now, waiting for your orders. You approach this camp. There are a bunch of Haven workers sitting by the fire, fanning themselves to keep cool. One old man rises, approaches you, and kneels. He says, "I am Chief Gervin. General Aquila sent us out here." We're ready to work. We can reclaim Fort West Bay now. We just need the order. How did you get here? We just traveled. The Vol soldiers ignored us. I suspect the general already made a deal with Vitassa. Not my business, of course. What will the Vol think of us rebuilding this fort? Probably not much. I think they will welcome it. The masters want us to win their war for them and make them all rich. He shrugs. I'm just following my orders anyway. I give the order. Get to work. Griffin turns and says, "You heard the prince. Get to work." The sweaty, dusty soldiers and craftfolk rise to their feet. Then they stroll into the ruins of Fort West Bay. Huh. Wow. So, I was here before, the first time I came into this area. If anybody watching this LP actually has played this game before, they were probably facepalming pretty hard that I didn't just do this when I was here. Alright, entering Fort West Bay. Well, let's get this done. Stupid soldier patrols. Haven townsperson, nothing to say. Haven will return. Excuse me. Be careful. Interesting dialogue all around. Okay. Oh, I guess that makes sense that we would be a naval port. Naval port? Port kind of thing. Oh, hey, we leveled up at some point. Cool. Maybe for creating the fort. We'll continue our brief tour, uncovering stuff on the map. And then we'll deal with the level up, and then we'll build a bunch of stuff, and then we'll get a new character, and then we'll level up the new character, and then we'll deal with our equipment. Oh man, so much to do every time we get a new fort. This is going to be our last new character, though. Okay. Volmasha and Volowen. The Vol are most noted for their system of lifelong indentured servitude. Their people are split into three parts. There are the Volowen. These are servants who permanently sold their freedom to be freed of debt or to atone for crimes. So they... Interesting. I just realized something. It's kind of interesting that they have the Scorpion Pit, then, where they can execute people. Maybe that's a separate option. Like, if they don't want to die, they can volunteer to become Owen. Or maybe if an Owen commits a crime, then they need to be punished. Maybe that's what the Scorpion Pit's for. Each Volowen has lines tattooed on their right cheek, one line for each generation of descendant who must serve. Their children will be marked with one less line until their issue are finally free, or until they fall into debt again. Some say that the Volowen are slaves. The Volmasha dispute this. After all, the Owen do become so by choice, unless it was their parents who did it and they are, stuck doing multi-generation slavery. And when forced to choose between bondage and starvation, they chose bondage. So totally voluntary choice, right? See how it is. And then there are the Volmasha, the owners, those who have purchased the service of at least one Volowen. These are the leaders within their society, for all decisions in the Vol fortresses are made by conclaves of the Masha. Finally, there are the plain Vol, those free and owning no Owen, not in servitude, but no power either. Could, theoretically, you have a wealthy Vol who just doesn't own any Owen and is therefore not a Masha? Like, in theory, that would be possible, right? Although culturally, I guess, if they have the money, then why not buy an Owen, right? I guess it's the culture here. The plain Vol try their best to stay free of debt or crime for fear of becoming Owen. A few are lucky and merciless enough to gain Owen and become Masha, but not many. Right, so what you really have here is a very rigid caste system. Caste? Caste? Caste system. Rigid caste system. Achievement unlocked. Delia's good influence. Oh, right, because I guess my sister reads a lot, and so we're reading a lot, and we finally got a medal for it. No? Well done, me. I do like reading. That's why I play this game. Speaking of which, more reading. Lots of text, all the text. Treaty of Vassalage between Haven and the Vole, year 459. Here is outlined the vassalage contract between the mighty Empire of Haven and the Vole, between King Kale of Haven and the Council of Thablin, elected representatives of the Volmasha. Haven declares that the Vole is a favored vassal, with all protections included. An attack on the Vole is an attack on us. Thieves and rebels in the Vole are an offense to Haven and will be removed. Full trade between our powers is guaranteed. As the Vole is favored, it will receive all due benefits in conflicts between it and other states of Sacramentum. Haven will also help the Vole to quell any rebellion of the class commonly called the Vole-Owen. In return, the Vole grants Haven full movement in their territories and full consultation on any political matters. Land for 2 forts will be provided for Haven, and the Vole will protect the security of these lands. This agreement will last as long as Haven and the Vole exist as independent peoples, so agreed in sacred bond by both parties in the year 459. Okay. And one more. Status of the Vole, year 465. Report for Queen Sharon III, Empress of the mighty Empire of Haven. When King Kale declared the Vole a favored vassal, he promised our support should the Owen rebel. This was, at the time, thought a small concession. Since then, we have learned more of the true status of our vassal. The Vole have become more unstable in recent centuries. As the years pass, the Masha have gained a larger share of power and wealth. Slowly, more regular Vole fail in society and become Owen. Our High Council in Thablin is distant and detached. They do not understand what is happening. Too few owners and too many servants has led to violence and riots, more every decade. We may find ourselves trapped in an ugly war in this barren land within the lifetime of your great majesty. Okay, hold on. 465. 459. So we signed the contract in 459. And then in 465, it's like, oh, we agreed to deal with any Owen rebellion, but over the centuries they've become more unstable. This is only like 6 years later, though. Okay. I won't think about that too hard. Scroll of Might. Here, have a blessing scroll. Sage Albinin. There's a young woman in the robes of a sage here, keeping the records and ledgers of the fort. She's young for a sage. The harsh environment is leaving her pale complexion cracked, and every loud noise makes her jump. The presence of a prince doesn't calm her. She kneels. Welcome, I am Sage Albinin. I will provide all the information I can. How did you come to be here? This is my first mission. I wanted to be in a vassal state. It is how to advance in the army. When a call for volunteers for a big mission came, I stepped forward. Turns out it was for this Sacramentum campaign. Here I am. You don't sound enthusiastic. I've never been in the middle of a war before. We saw a lot of ugly things on the way out here. It's been an adjustment. Don't worry, Prince. It hasn't fazed me. I will still serve well. Okay. What is your purpose here? I handle the paperwork for the fort. Haven is built on paper. Well, also the finest magical and military training in the known lands, but mainly paper. Yep. Organization and logistics is very important. Also, I've had to spend a lot of time outside looking over the supplies. No quartermaster. Why not? He died on the boat over. Disease. Chief Gervin told me to adjust. Any advice for how I can make the fort stronger? I couldn't say, not to a prince. The chief might know. Any extra supplies for me? Nothing that would be an improvement for you, I'm afraid. These forts never get the best stuff. I would ask at one of the 3 battalion headquarters. Their quartermasters might have potions or other nice things. Tell me about the Vole. She sits up straight. Now she is in her element. Of course, on the boat ride over, when I wasn't sick, I read and reread my books on the Vole, their practices and history, their odd Owen Masha system. They're fascinating, easily classified as hard people, shaped by their land, requiring all standard techniques for dealing with such. I'd like to know more about the Owen and Masha. It is interesting. Many people call the Owen slaves. However, the Masha allow them just enough freedom to leave them their pride. All this while totally controlling their lives. And the Vole are hard people? Yes, it comes from poverty and hard environments. All of their energy goes to survival. This burns away sentimentality, sympathy, and weak emotions. This is one of the reasons it took the Owens so long to rebel. Thanks to their upbringing, many of them seem to believe they deserve their punishment. Their land shaped them. It is harsh and dry, very little farmland, lethal scorpions. Most Voles spend their lives just a mistake or two from death or ruin, and everyone makes mistakes. As in most places like this, they develop stern exteriors and a very strong code of honor. Ideas of honor and shame control their lives. Stern exteriors? The Vole tend to be grim and humorless, at least when you first meet them. They have humor. It just kind of embarrasses them. To make their lives tolerable, they love luxuries when they can find them. That is why they value oases, and why they make their cities so beautiful. Where did this code of honor come from? I guess the beauty being like stonework and stuff. The Vol have always struggled with each other for survival. The groups with the best, most efficient code of conduct survived. That code turned out to stress responsibility, self-denial, and cooperation, and always paying one's debts. Why are honor and shame so important? When a land is so harsh, everyone can be one misfortune from death. The people learn from birth never to do anything to cause that misfortune to another. This is honor. Violating this brings great shame. How is loss of honor punished? Death, or shunning and banishment, which tends to lead to death. The exception, of course, is the shame of great debt. This is atoned for by becoming an Owen. It's better than shame or death. Okay. So the Owen is only for debt. If your problems aren't financial, then you just die. Interesting. Do many vassal states have systems like this? Yes, these vassals are called hard people. We have our own diplomatic protocols for dealing with them. Trade with Haven tends to make these vassals richer and safer. Then the code of honor fades. Interesting. What fate do such nations have? Slow decline, usually. No ruler or written law can force a citizen to work for the good of a nation. The cultural sense of morality and honor is the most reliable shaper of a citizen. Once this is gone, corruption follows. That is wise. Thank you, Prince. This is Standard Haven Doctrine, but Standard Haven Doctrine is set by you. You can always change my views for me later. No, actually, I think I kind of agree with your point there. But now I am rambling. I'm sure these debatable lectures are not helpful for you. Okay. Stairs. Oh. And another room. Even Soldier. Chief Gervin. Is that a globe? Interesting. Chosen Chief of Port West Bay is an old hand, one of the stony professionals who have kept Haven running and vassals in line for centuries. When you enter, he automatically rises and kneels. He's showing respect. His actual respect will have to be earned. He grunts. Welcome, Prince. I am Chief Gervin. Port West Bay has been established, and I am ready to give a report. Give me your report, Chief. He returns to his seat. As expected, Vitassa gave General Aquila no trouble getting supplies and soldiers out here. We were well positioned, far from the worst battles of the rebellion. Full merchants are stopping by now. They are being very polite. There's a lot of suspense. Fine. The Vol's experiencing a civil war. On one side, the Masha, the rich and the owners. On the other, the Owen, the owned. We're fighting for independence, freedom, economic reforms. Standard list. The war is in a stalemate. Haven's fine soldiers could help either side win. Everyone is wondering if we will continue our old policy towards this vassal. What policy would I continue? Queen Sharon supported the Mashas and kept them in power. They paid Haven very well for the aid. And they're looking for me to solve this problem? Of course. Who in a war would turn down immediate victory? He sounds oddly bored talking about all this, as if he's reading from a shopping list. Whatever side would help, I imagine it would then be easy to make them our vassals again. I don't want to tell other nations what to do. To an extent, this is true. However, I think it's more that keep them doing their own things as long as they're serving Haven. What do you think I should do? I'm going to ask, and he's going to say he doesn't have an opinion. And then I guess I'll look into it. Now he's surprised. That is the first time one of your rank actually asked my opinion on such a high matter of state. There's so many factors, such complexity. I am flattered greatly, Prince. Now please let me know what Fort West Bay can do for you. You note that he never actually answered the question. Okay. Interesting. I want to learn about the bull. You're surprised by how much this question surprises Chief Gervin. Know about them? I suppose I could tell you what I know. I don't usually learn about the vassal nations I serve in, just enough to run the fort and follow the orders. Tell me about the people of the bull. I would refer you to Sage Albinin. Our sages tend to do more collecting of intelligence. She could provide more insight than this old soldier. What is the history of the bull? History? I guess they have a lot of it. Tragic stories of the hard-shot sand swallowing up cities, that sort of thing. It's an unpleasant place. Then again, every vassal always wants to fill your ears with how horrible their lives are. I want to know about the Owen and the Masha. Ah, there's the unavoidable business. It's a standard vassal squabble. Common, really. Still requires attention and judgment to untangle it in the most productive way. I don't have any opinions on it. What if I ordered you to have an opinion? You're not going to do that. Well, We might have to. I mean, I guess we could just exit out of the conversation, but we'll see. How have you seen similar situations play out with other vassals? You pick a side, help them win, then, as long as they live up to the conditions of their treaty with us, they can do what they want, within reason, of course. Yeah, yeah. I'm curious to see what he's going to say about this. It's not a great idea for a chief like me to get too involved in the matters of the vassals. He even always tries to leave vassal religions and traditions alone. Yeah, and that's kind of the stance that I would like to take as well, as long as their religions and traditions aren't completely destructive. And I mean, if they were, then we probably wouldn't have bothered vassalizing them in the first place. Like, in that case, you just outright conquer them if they weren't workable in the first place. The only exception is if they have a practice so gruesome or intolerable that we absolutely can't stand to be near it. Ah, okay. Right. It's just, yeah, exactly. What would an intolerable situation be? Mass human sacrifice, that sort of thing. Then we use our soldiers to force them to stop. Happily, when a situation gets that bad, they're usually happy to be forced to stop. Okay. Tell me more about yourself. Well, I was going to retire. Then Queen Sharon sent for me. Since the Prince of Haven would be on this miserable land, she wanted to make sure the best were here to help. For some reason, she thought that included me. Surprised I got this post. It's a valuable one. You're going to retire? Yes, not sure how I felt about that. I do have 2 grandchildren I could chase around. Then again, what is better than serving Haven and keeping us strong? It's an honor to be here. Yeah, you seem like the right sort of guy to be in the Vole, honestly, based on the way you've been talking about things. My mother spoke with you. She did. A full audience, in the palace. It was something. Had to buy new clothes. She was very serious about the Sacramentum project. The calamity happened during her rule. She wants to make up for that defeat. This is a valuable post? Oh yes. All chiefs are allowed to engage in a certain amount of graft and mild corruption. Makes up for a low pay. Trade with the Vole was very profitable, so serving here is a good step for a chief who wants a good amount of coin. Do you want to be wealthy? He emits a little cough. Turns out I managed to accumulate a fair amount of gold in my many other postings. I don't really care about the money I can make here. Pauses. Maybe that is why the Queen selected me. She is a wise one. I want to make this fort stronger. Of course, Prince. We have enough resources to defend ourselves. However, if you want more resources and safer roads, I can provide our intelligence. For example, we have a good opportunity to get a new source of stone. We don't need any more stone. False. We always need more stone. Suppose we can use more stone. Fortunately, Haven actually owns a quarry near here. It's called the Blasted Pit. I sent scouts there. There are no soldiers there, but signs of monster activity. If it was reclaimed, I could hire workers to extract stone for us. Where's the quarry? Due south of here. I made sure our scouts repaired the signs. You really call it the Blasted Pit? Havenites are not a poetic people. I understand that the place is a volcanic fumarole. The name fits. Are we entitled to the stone? Albinon's records say it was bought from Thablin before the calamity. It is still ours, by terms of our treaty. What should I do when I'm there? Kill the monsters, presumably. Just clear out the monsters. Queen Sharon told me that you were given considerable powers and wanted to practice them in pits like this one. I would not deny you the opportunity. Good. Okay. Cool. Stuff to do. So we have a bunch more quests to complete. We've gained 2 new quests today. Max Snooch, there's a name. You meet a Havenite in dark, severe clothes. He walks from crate to crate, mumbling numbers to himself and checking a clipboard heavy with ledgers. Occasionally, he consults one as he looks inside a crate. Even up close, he ignores you until he sees the royal insignia on your chest. One prince. Noted. He doesn't make eye contact. He just marks his clipboard. I'm Max Snooch, Royal Auditor. What is a Royal Auditor? Looks past you as he answers. I verify our current inventories, our resources, coin, and such. For the Queen, I make sure all the numbers align. What do you mean, numbers align? I look for inconsistencies in numbers between what officials and sages report having and what is actually present. What happens if you find inconsistencies? This indicates corruption, which will not be tolerated. Ah, interesting. That doesn't go with what the chief just told me, Chief Gervin. The Queen was explicit. It is in Haven's interest that graft, bribery, thievery is kept to acceptable levels, no matter how remote the vassal is. Thus I investigate all inconsistencies. Typically I find who is responsible and deal with it before they try to kill me. Please excuse me, Prince. Chief Gervin undercounted his supply of medium ceramic jugs by at least 3. Why the clipboard? He looks past you as he answers. Queen requires document verification. So it didn't matter what I said there. You work for my mother? His head gives a little confused tilt. I work for Mindwell, and Snooch. You have one client, the Queen. You've heard of them. They're your mother's private accounting firm. Apparently they do more than just giving you your allowance of gold every week. Oh, can I have my allowance? It's been a while. Are you the Snooch of Mindwell, and Snooch? No, that was my great-grandfather, Bushrod Snooch. Like me, most of his descendants have joined the firm. I hope my children will do the same. Count is correct. Good. Glad to hear it. Money I could steal. Steal from the guy who's checking corruption, presumably. Nothing here. There's a bed I can use. Even soldier, sure. Iron chain helm doesn't look that great. Decent amount of money. Alright, so that is the fort fully explored. I think. And we are actually quite a ways in. Increases healing by 10% and curing by 5. It's an ability I use. I could also just get +1 energy. And +1 energy, which we can then spend on a skeleton. I do use this ability quite a bit. I could take another point in it. Terrify all nearby enemies. Charge. I don't like charge because it takes me out of my position. Yeah, we will up our energy. And see what happens if we do a skeleton from him and a golem from her at the same time. Okay. Don't care about that terribly much. Let's see what the barbed lance does. 3 more turns of bleeding. Bleeding is actually surprisingly nasty. Yeah, and the passive 20% bleed is nice. Okay, you... I mean, it doesn't really matter. Never gonna use terror. I'm never gonna use shock either, though. Just work up to getting 1 more energy on my priest. Which also isn't gonna matter, because I'm about to swap that character out. Charm a foe for 2 turns, freeze an ally from hostile mental effects. We're gonna take that. Free mind seems pretty nice. Right click to clear, right click or control click, okay. Cures 0 turns, what? Well, why would I even bother then? That has to be a wrong tooltip, right? Okay, goodbye, priest. Edit party. I guess this will be in the order then that they were originally in. Great character from the Vol. Warrior from the Vol has special abilities that protect your group from enemy attacks. Excellent. Sure, we'll go with that. Curious, can I make him an Owen? No, doesn't look like it. Okay, well, we'll just keep everything as is. I guess for some reason Tarek comes to mind, so we'll go with that. I don't want to sit on here for too long. And we'll just leave the rest of it as it is. Tarek. Go into the party. Alright, what are your cultural abilities? Spell shield. Shield to an ally for 3 turns. Evasion increased by 50%. Or 2 more, or 5 turns, I guess. Okay, yeah, just keep clicking. Evasion charm. Evasion charm, 3 turns. Physical attack evasion increased by 50%. 5 turns. Passive. 5% chance for all allies within 4 spaces to evade magical and physical attacks. Always active. Well, we're definitely going to take that. These two don't really appeal to me that much. I mean, evasion rate is pretty high in this game. Oh, 15 and 10, apparently. So now 25 and 20, unless he doesn't do it to himself. Support. Do I care about any of these? I never use speed because I have this battle frenzy, so speed is kind of useless. Teleport could be interesting. Cures a single ally of poison, bleeding, and curses. We're going to spend energy on that. This is why my priest is always so fast compared to everybody else. Disruption, sure. Yeah, why would I ever take Healing Wave when I could take Restoring Rain? Presumably it's more health. Okay. Now the problem with what I've done is that he has, like, no energy. Which is not great for a priest. So I guess we'll take Restoring Rain off 1, and we'll give him 20% bonus to healing. Oh, yeah, well, obviously we want that. Obviously. And that increases the energy by 1. I can... Okay. I can just hit 3. That seems to do it. Okay. And then from here... Care about any of these? Doesn't affect what's in your pack. I care about the Grey Ruined Charm, but that's about it. The rest of this is... whatever. Stuff that I can never use. I might as well, like, rings and stuff. Might as well not have them in my active inventory. Okay. Cool. So, finally have our full party. Let's see, upgrade fort. That's going to use up a lot of stone, unfortunately. I mean, that is why we're here in the Vul, to deal with our stone issue. Well, let's just do it. We have 4 stone left, so we can get... Well, let's get another smithy. And a barracks. Even number. We'll give missile and magic +1. Carpenter. His shields and other stuff. Sure. Smithy. Carpenter. And barracks. Good, making decent stone. Do better on the iron front. Things going in this region. Area is reasonably secure. Alright, time to muck around with inventory a little bit. I want to sell something. Okay, I can only sell that for a fraction of what I paid for it. I'm going to hold on to those because those seem like they might potentially be weird quest items. Like there might be a collection of stones I need to get later at some point. I guess I could be giving stuff like this. I could be handing it off to one of the characters I'm not using so that I don't have all my inventory being filled up like this. Okay, I just upgraded to the next level of bow. Getting expensive. Let's see, 34 to 41. Interesting. I guess because his attack is higher. There's still +3 damage. Hits are critical. Oh, that's the same as what I have, because it's a longbow. Composite. 5. 5. Wondering about this warning label. It says not, oh, weapon will do half damage. Oh. Yeah. Well. I mean, I could buy it, but I just spent a whole bunch of money. I don't have a lot. Oh, I really don't have a lot. Just kind of checking out what my options are. Let's see, I'm currently using a wood shield. Which is a hardwood buckler equivalent. Hardwood buckler is faster. Alright, wood shield, okay. Yeah. Steel buckler is going to be a wood tower shield equivalent without the speed penalty. But I mean, it's only +1 defense. I guess he has one more augment. Yeah, obviously not for her. Wands. See, I'm using a bone wand. So this is going to be inferior to what I'm currently using anyway. Still don't have enough carpenters to maintain it. Yep, that's fine. Staves doesn't matter because I don't use those. That is all. Okay, well, we upgraded the carpenter for all the good that did us. I would like to buy those shields eventually, but it's gonna be a while to buy a weapon. Okay, bronze broadblade. This would be a +3 physical damage bonus over what I have. I don't know that that's really worth spending the money on? Arcane weapon, I could buy a fire short blade. 20% crit chance, but it has fewer augments and... Interesting. This is arcane gear, so actually this is stuff that the wizard can use. But I mean, why would I? I don't want my wizard being in melee necessarily. Armor. Really the big thing that we care about. Drakeskin Jacket is going to be the highest value physical defense that we can get. Until we start getting into the speed penalty type stuff. Yeah, I mean the defense values on these are pretty nice. But 20% speed penalty for +3 defense over what I've currently got. Or get no penalty for +2 defense and +1 magic defense. Maybe we'll just hold on to our money for now. What's the difference here? Tier 1 armor. Tier 2 armor. Okay, why are the helms and the... Oh, these are helms too. Why does there appear to be two different sets of progression? Like, what meaningful difference is there between these? 6-3. 25%. Absorbs up to 30%. Okay, so this can absorb a higher percentage, so that means these are going to be more effective against low damage attacks, whereas these are going to be... Well, I mean, they'll be equally effective against high damage attacks. Okay. Thing is, I don't like spending all of my money, but I don't... it's fine, I'm doing fine. Actually, I can't afford those items anyway, because I don't have enough money to uninstall all of my, my augments, probably. They'll be cutting it really close if I do. Alright. Well, let's just get a feel for the lay of the land here. There's a large force of Vol soldiers patrolling this land, operating from the Thablan gates. They stop and interrogate all who pass through these lands. They recognize you immediately. They tell you that the gates have been instructed to let you pass. You are to receive free passage to Thablan, capital city of the Mascha. Thablan gates. A single major pass leads through the high, jagged peaks that run along the west coast. This pass is the main route to Thablan, the capital of the Vol. The pass is blocked by a huge fortification reminiscent of the Vol gates. High walls, massive steel gates, archers on every parapet. You can see why the rebellion is stretched on. Until someone can break the defenses of this fortress, an incredibly difficult task, the Owen will never be able to defeat their former masters. Honored to meet you. The coast of the Vol is separated from the central desert by an enormous range of jagged mountains. There are only two proper passes through these peaks. This is one of them. A wide variety of travelers flow through. Vol merchants, refugees, traders from other lands. The narrow passage leads between two tall towers. Vul warriors are gathered at the top, and multiple ballistas are aimed at you. One shouts, "Armed warriors get special attention. Go in and see the commander." Alright. You begin to sense that you're entering a more dangerous region of the Vul. Near the capital, the foes are likely to be better armed and more challenging. You wonder if it might be wise to return later. Thank you, game, for telling me that I am playing an RPG. I see how that works. Right, that was a different color. Okay, well, in any event, I was just wanting this to show up on my map. Yeah, it's a place I can go to. Thablin, I mean, I could probably just go through here and get to Thablin. As long as I don't get ambushed on the way, I'd be fine, regardless of how difficult it is. However, Scorpion Pit and Blasted Pit seem like... you know, maybe we can do 2 dungeons in 1 session again, like we did last time. So that's going to be the goal for next time, I think. What's going on down here? Let's just... you meet a group of young Vul warriors. They have chainmail and axes, standard equipment for the Vul. The heat doesn't bother them at all. They're walking through the sandy waste, but they seem confused and lost. When they see you and see that your outsiders are not fighting in their civil war, they wave. Let's talk to them. They're friendly folk, neither Masha nor Owen. They were nervous until they realized that you were a Havenite. They left their farms to sign on with Haven's army. It's very common in vassal states. Haven pays very well and provides excellent training. Oh, there's that group in the Ariel that I'm supposed to be directing to my fort as well, isn't there? Give them directions to a Haven fort. Fortunately, you've rebuilt one of Haven's fortresses in the Vul. You give the soldiers directions, they march off in the correct direction. Your battalions are strong, but Haven is never able to control a vassal state without recruiting warriors that already live there. Yeah. Blasted Pit to the west. Classic Spiderweb lava dungeon. That's exciting. Did that pop up on my map? Yes, I can go there. Okay. Scorpion Pit, I just didn't walk quite close enough last time I was here. The road through this arid valley is lined with stone pillars and bleached bones. The bones are human. They are gruesome trophies, giving a hint of what lies ahead. You discovered the Scorpion Pit. Okay. And these are both showing up on my map now. Nice. Wait, what is it? 4 stone. Nice. Okay. Yep. And I need to get my money structures going in both of these cities now, too. Both of these sports. Okay, I'm just a little bit curious. If I go in here... I found soldiers. Okay. Not seeing them in here. Vul report. No theft, no theft. Ooh, it's high theft chance, though. Upkeep for everything, quite a bit. Yeah, not making any iron. Making a little bit of money. 7 stone per cycle. I mean, we don't need more stone anymore. Suddenly we fixed that problem. Especially since we've upgraded all of our forts to stone. But anyway, that's going to be it for this time. Next time, despite not necessarily needing the stone, we're going to do both of these. I guess we could continue down here. Got stuff we could try to do over here. Iron is what we're low on, and I think it's because I build smithies and barracks everywhere. But here, this is almost certainly going to be harder. So, I don't know. We'll explore down here and probably finish up the Ariel and the Vul, the early section, before we have to go through, presumably, the passes here, and probably this up to this point in the Ariel. And then we'll figure everything else out from there. So, Scorpion Pit, Blasted Pit next time. I will see you then.